Hello everyone, this is Lolly. I am a little late with my February paper clip. The theme for February was your favorite song. I had a hard time coming up with my favorite song because I like so many different songs. It depends on my mood for the day and depends on the day of the month of the year, etc. So I finally settled on was my favorite music video currently, and that is TobyMac's Help Is on the Way. So what I decided to do was to make a hidden clip and make it look like I was watching it on my cell phone. So what I did is I went in Silhouette Design Studio and I designed a little cell phone image. I have two pieces, and then I also designed the centerpiece, and I took a screenshot of TobyMac on YouTube. And so what I'm going to do is adhere that on one of these pieces. Now this was a Lawn Fawn's glue tube, but since the tip is pretty big, you will use the glue up very quickly. So once I did that, I just rinsed it out and I put my Barely Art glitter glue, not glitter glue, my Barely Art glue in there. And so because I like it, and I liked it, but so then I put vinyl on there for my name, but the vinyl won't stick to this waxy surface. So I had to put tape around it so it looks a little funny. Now, while that's setting up, we're going to take this and we're going to put a little slit in the back. And I don't want to cut my mat there. So what I want to do is turn this over. I'm going to line it up on my grid here. I'm going to go 1/2 inch from the top of the cell phone and just do about a 1/2 inch across, like right there. That's it. Just make sure that that's open. It is. And then I'm going to put a little piece of double-sided tape right there to hold the paper clip. And if you want to know how to do this, how to get the photo onto the image here, stay tuned after the video and I will show you how I did that on Silhouette Design Studio. So I'm going to need the permanent glue. You can just use your double-sided tape for the whole thing, but you really need to be careful. I like making sure that I have good permanent adhesion when I am working with paper clips. So this is going to go under that cut. Lift that tape off, and then I'm going to get a little bit of the permanent glue right across the bottom there, not on the tape. So you want the tape here, the glue, the permanent glue there, but don't put them on top of each other. Now I have the double loops here on my paper clip. I'm going to insert the little loop in here, but this is the tricky part because okay, I'm looking at the back here. I'm going to put that little loop through there. It'll stick to that double-sided adhesive and you won't be able to move it. So I'm lifting it up off of the paper as I move it. It's already stuck. So I can leave it like this, or I can lift it up carefully and just pull it because it will come there. Okay, and now it's stuck also to the power tack, and I'm going to give it a little more power tack right across the paper clip here, mostly on the bottom there. And I'm going to use my liquid glue across the rest of the cell phone. But with that permanent glue, I know that this is not going to come undone. Now you need some clamps for this. We're gluing this, and we have that big lump in the middle. And so I'm using these clamps from the dollar store, making sure I get a really good seal there and there. And I'm going to let that set for about 20 minutes. Okay, so this is all dried. Now, I usually like to embellish things a lot more than in this case, but I want it to still look like a cell phone. So I have hole punches of hearts and music notes, and I want to keep this looking like a cell phone. But what I did was I punched them 3 times so I would have dimension. It helps it to stick out more, otherwise it just kind of gets lost on there. The other thing I did was I used this crocodile hole punch, and I used the small one, which is the 1/8 inch. I know you can't see this very well, but when you punch it, it's folded over because it's not meant to be saved. So I just flattened it back out. I did it 3 times. I'm going to glue those right here, and that is going to represent the front-facing camera on my project here. So you need a fine point glue, and this is the Barely Art glue. And then the only other thing that I did after that was I decided to make these pretty glossy. So I used diamond glaze on this. It's a very big tip, so you'd be very careful and barely squeeze it at all. And then 1 drop. I'm just letting it come out on its own. And then just let that dry. Okay, so that is the project. Now, if you want to see how to do this in Silhouette Design Studio, hold on for the rest of the video. Okay, so here I am with the Silhouette Design Studio. This is my cell phone file. This is the actual phone. You need 2 of those, and this is the front plate. These are just the buttons that you can sandwich in between 2 of these layers, but you don't need that for this project, so I'm going to move them over here. Actually, I can get rid of them because this is a duplicate file. So what I decided for this was I wanted my project to be about 3 inches tall. So I just put them together, and I'm just grabbing that corner box and pulling that down till I get it about where I want it. And now I have this, but since I can't see very well, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, and like I said, we need 2 of these, so I'm going to highlight it, right-click it, and duplicate. The other thing I need to do is come over here, and I have, oops, pull this over. I have done a screenshot right here. I'm going to pull that in here. TobyMac, and it's a screenshot from my phone watching this on YouTube. So I'm going to push this down here, resize it. You see this yellow here, it just means it's low resolution, but by the time I shrink this way down here, the resolution will be fine. It needs to fit into this gray screen here. Let's zoom in a little bit again. It needs to fit in here, and it does. But what I notice is that I also have comments on the bottom here. I don't think I want those comments. So what I want to do is I want to make a white rectangle that covers up my comments, not my comment, but the comments that are listed here. So I'm going to take this and just, I don't want to hide his name. I just want to make a rectangle just like that. And I'm going to come over and hit this color box, select white, and the line color white. And now you don't see those. So I'm going to highlight that, hit send, and say no cut. No cut. There we go. Now design. Now I can come back here, highlight both of those, right click, and group them. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Come back out. So now I have this, and I want this right on there, and I can get it a little bit bigger. Okay, now I'm going to highlight both of those, come over to the transform window and center those left and right and say group. Now when I take that, let's see what happens here. If I say cut, yes, it cuts just the edge on all of those. Great. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out now because what I need, let's move this aside, I need to send this to my Cameo and cut 2 of these for this. So front and back of the phone and this. Now for this one, I need another sheet, so I'm going to say copy, well, there you go, copy, open a new one of these and say paste. But I'm going to change this to click this right here, turn that on. This is registration marks, but I need the paper size right here to be not 12 by 12. I need letter because my printer has to print in letter. So now that I've got this, I can take that and say object, replicate, and fill page, and it will fit as many of those in as it can without going beyond registration marks and all that. So you can see I could get 9 of these if I wanted that many. If you don't want that many, you don't need them. So what you're going to do is print this out, and then when you've printed it and you take the print page and you run it through, it's going to see your registration marks, and it will print. It will cut right around on those red lines. That's all you have to do. So one page you're going to print on this on white and then cut. And then this page, you're just going to run this through your Cameo with your black cardstock. That's all it takes, folks. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this project, and you can adapt this to any music video or any YouTuber you want. I could do one of these of one of my YouTube videos. Wouldn't that be fun? Thank you for watching, everyone.